Hey guys, Chuck Quinton here again, and today we're going to start talking about one of the most critical parts of turning your business idea into something that actually makes money, and that is how you do email marketing. And believe it or not, email marketing has become kind of the de facto standard in determining the success of most online businesses, especially subscription and membership type businesses online today. It is incredibly important, and if you're not doing it right, you are wasting thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in not setting up a proper email marketing campaign. So this is a really, really important video. So I really need you to take good notes and pay close attention to the details on how to set this up so that you can make sure that you leverage the power of email marketing. And there are lots of different types of email marketing, and everyone has its pluses and minuses, and we're going to talk about a little bit of it here. One of them is just purchasing a list. If you're a brand new website and you have no email list that you've built up yet using paywalls and things like that, giving away free content in exchange for email addresses, then you can buy a list. You can buy targeted lists that are specific to people who are interested in your topic. There's tons of places to buy this. You can rent lists, believe it or not. You can actually lease a list and send so many emails, and you pay per email address that you send to. And you can buy just really generic, broad email lists, but these generally don't have great returns because these are people who don't know anything about your product, and as you're going to learn in a minute, you need to have constant exposure to each one of your potential customers in order to convert them. So purchasing just a generic list, even if it is really targeted, is not necessarily the best way to go, and of course it costs money, and part of the whole Quinton startup method is to not spend money on marketing costs or any startup costs for the most part. We want to limit it to the minimal startup costs, and there are lots of better ways to do it rather than just buying a list. One of those, of course, is sending out your own newsletter to your own list. But of course, this takes time. And this is one of the, I want to diverge for just a second and talk about when you're starting your business, everybody wants to just get rocking and rolling right away. And so one of the quickest ways to do that is to buy things, to buy ad space, to buy pay-per-click ads, to buy purchased email lists and those types of things, when really it's just one of the quickest ways to burn through cash. And assuming that you're a typical startup, you don't have tons of cash to burn through. So it's best to do things slowly and take your time, even though it seems a little bit more frustrating that you're not just getting tens of thousands of dollars coming in every month on the first few months. If you do it right over time, you can do this and not put yourself in any financial stress or burden. And so just know that it's important to take your time, and when you're building all these things up, and set all the pieces up in the right order so that over the long term, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're still in business and you're continuing to grow rather than just hoping to hit a home run the first month out of the box. It just doesn't happen like that. And so with newsletters, even though it's going to take you a while to build your own list, it's going to be much more targeted and be much more successful over the long term and cost you way less money, because this should be free, because you're probably just going to give away some content in order to get their email address. If you do this, you'll have a great list that will convert at a much higher rate than just purchasing something. Another option, still in the realm of buying things but a little bit less expensive, is that you can buy ad space on other existing newsletters from somebody else who's taken the time to build their own email list up, and you can buy a small spot, promotional spot on one of their newsletters. And this is also a good way of doing it. You can be much more targeted rather than just buying a generic list. So another option to consider, but again, costs a little bit of money, and I generally recommend that when you're starting out that you not spend a lot of money on advertising. Learn how to do the free organic tools that will last forever, rather than just going out and buying a bunch of stuff. Leave the purchasing, the pay-per-click ads, the paid marketing stuff to the experts and people who have been at it a long time, because there's just so many more mistakes that can be made. So when you're starting out, don't bother with that stuff. So newsletters, a great way. It's going to be one of your key marketing tools. But the biggest one when it comes to converting people is drip campaigns. If you do not know what a drip campaign is, which means you probably don't have one set up, then you are throwing away one of the biggest, most successful conversion tools that exist today for a membership site. A drip campaign is ticks all the buttons off the Quentin Startup Method. It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. It's fully automated so that it doesn't require any input from you, and it does all of the work for you. No hands-on work with the customers. Once you write this, it exists forever, and that's a big part of one of my marketing tools. Is we want to have marketing techniques that last forever, that don't require that you continue to pay the piper and keep them, keep spending lots of money to keep things going. A drip campaign is exactly that. It's fully automated. It uses the list that you capture. So obviously, if you're not capturing an email list yet, you're not going to be able to do any of this stuff. So you need to watch the video on how to capture and create an email list. That's critical. But once you have that, setting up your drip campaigns is where the money's at. So first of all, remember the email marketing. It's one of the biggest, most important conversion tools that you're going to have. You need to be capturing email lists. You need to be building up your own newsletters. You need to be putting out regular emails. And then, most importantly, what we're going to focus on today is that you got to set up a drip campaign for your email list. So what is a drip campaign? Well, as